Hey friends, and welcome back to the Reddit Rainbow. I have a new story called Am I the Asshole for Not Wanting to Contact My Son After He Was the One Who Abandoned Me? I promise it was a typo. Go ahead and grab your vibes and your delights, and let's jump in. I, 45 female, have a son from my previous marriage. I got pregnant way too young at the age of 20 from my high school sweetheart, David, 45 male. We got married at the age of 22 after we graduated college. David was rich. He didn't want me to work, so I was just a housewife. What a lucky duck, am I right? My son was the apple of my eye. I gave everything to him. He was my world. He and I were really close, and I never had a doubt in my mind that I would not be alone in this world as long as I have him. That is until 10 years ago. I found out that my husband was cheating on me with a young colleague of his. And what's worse is my 15-year-old son knew about it. He hid the affair from me. Oh gosh, what? Has anybody ever been in this position before? Because wow, I don't even know how to feel about that. Imagine how broken I was. I am. That's why I don't know how to feel. I was betrayed by the two people I care about the most in this world, okay? I asked him why he did that, why he hurt me. His response was that his dad told him not to. Oh, okay, no lie. I thought you was talking about the husband for a second. I was like, your father-in-law told him to do it? He bought him gifts to keep his mouth shut, and having a young stepmom made him popular amongst kids. I was totally blindsided when I learned my husband took my little boy to meet that woman. They made excuses that they went on a ski trip and they took his mistress with them. I felt like a total fool at the time. In the divorce ruling, my son chose my ex over me. I was heartbroken. My son didn't even want to visit me after it was all done. Hardcore manipulation aside, which I can't believe I just said. How much you want to bet the dad was definitely pushing the cool factor at school? Look how hot your new stepmom is. Tell your friends about your cool hot stepmom. Stuff like that, ew. I even tried to reach out to him once when he turned 18, but he just refused. At that point, I gave up and went on with my life. I would still get sad over the years wondering how he was doing. I did move on and met someone who was a single father of 2 girls. I married him, and a few days after our wedding, I got pregnant again. The pregnancy was a nightmare. I wanted to meet with my son and tell him he's going to be a brother to a baby girl. The labor was painful. I almost unalived on the spot after giving birth to my daughter. And I still wanted to meet my son, but I knew he did not want to see me. So I just gave up on the idea. Over the years, the memories of him just became vague as I immersed myself into my new family. A week ago, I'm not gonna do it. I got a series of messages from him on my Facebook. He said he missed me a lot and wants to meet up. I don't know if I'm being over skeptical, but what changed? It took me by surprise. Over the last 10 years, he has not contacted me, but now he wants to see me? Right. But also, I bet his dad did something fucked up, or maybe I don't know. Why? I've been going over every possible reason. The worst part is I don't feel excited about it. That's not good. As a mother, I know I should be over the moon, but I am not. My parents and husband know that. They have been pushing me to meet him. They say I need closure after all, he is my son. But I don't know if I want to relive the same trauma. So am I wrong? Edited to add, I'm sorry for the mistake in the title. I wrote she instead of he. See, told ya. My first thought was honestly maybe he found you on social media and got jealous and decided, now's my time. But my heart feels like it might be more sinister than that. Hey friends, welcome back to the Reddit Rainbow. I have an update to the story called Update, Am I the Asshole for Not Wanting to Contact My Son After He Was the One Who Abandoned Me? I need re-up now. Do it now. I'm about to jump in. If you're new here, start at the beginning, but if you're all caught up, let's fucking keep going. First, an edit from the original post. Thank you guys for all the support. I decided to meet him today, but I'm taking my husband with me. He will not be with us, but he will watch us from a distance. For those of you who called me a neglectful mother, people were saying that? Well, a lot of people were trying to figure out what your part in it was. Okay, I saw that. Who never tried to reach out to him. Well, I hope you never have to experience what it's like to be rejected and lied to by your own boy. I know a lot of you will justify it by saying he was only 15, but a betrayal is still a betrayal. But yeah, I'll be keeping my distance. And then she jumps into the next one. A lot of you have been requesting me for an update. I finally met my son after so many years. He was not a boy anymore. He was a man. He looked taller than I remember. So anyways, I will give you an update. I read your comments and some of you gave me really good suggestions. I prepared myself for any possible outcome. He could be there to meet me and tell me about his life, or maybe reconcile, or maybe he wants something. Regardless of what it is, I'm keeping my guard up. I asked him to meet me in a public park. I asked my husband to be somewhere nearby so he could see me. My son came 5 minutes after I arrived and he was all grown up. I won't lie, I wanted to cry at that spot, but I held my composure. He said hi to me and I smiled, and I commented that he had grown up and looks really nice, and he just nodded. We sat down and it was silent. I was expecting him to say something at first, but I finally asked what he was up to these days. He told me he was doing fine. He just finished college and is going to apply for grad school. And I said, that's great. Then it was awkward silence again. He broke the silence and said, you must be wondering why I contacted you. I replied, for 10 years you haven't tried to contact me. Why now? I cannot help but wonder why you're trying to contact me when you told me years ago you don't want me anywhere near you because I embarrass you. His face got serious and he said, I know that, but I need something from you. Ugh. A lot of you suggested he must be here to ask me for money. Well, you guys were right. Oh my life. He asked me for money and the amount was $20,000. Jeez. He said he needed the money because he wants to go to law school and his father can't afford it because he lost a lot of his money a few years ago, probably due to the Rona, due to a loss on his business, and his company went bankrupt. He also had 3 more kids with his mistress wife. That's why they don't have money for him to go to grad school, and it just sank my heart. After 10 years, I was finally meeting him. I was hoping that we could reconcile and he would understand what I've been through, or maybe my husband was lying to him. But no, he just wants money from me. I told him I cannot give him my money, not such a huge amount. He got defensive and kept saying, why not? And then he asked, is this about Dad's affair? Geez, when will you get over it? Just damn. I was really hoping that he saw, but he didn't. Maybe he will one day. Sadly, I think OP's done. It is a hard feeling not listening to your gut and proving yourself right. I asked him, why do you hate me? What have I done to deserve your hatred? Have I ever raised my voice? Have I ever hit you or said no to you? Then why? You always pushed me away, and when I tried to get closer to you, why? And what did I do to deserve it? He took a deep breath and said, you don't understand, Mom. You really expected me to come with you? You had nothing. At least my dad could afford the lifestyle I wanted, and my friends actually liked Carla, his stepmom. Oh my gosh. Everything was fine until you discovered his affair and my deal with Dad. I get it. You didn't hit me or scold me, but you were not able to afford the life I wanted. I asked him if he really thinks his father's affair was actually the best way for any of us. I sacrificed a lot for him, and yet he chose someone who he only met when he was 14. He said he doesn't want to talk about that because it was so many years ago and I should just drop it. And I asked him why didn't he ever try to visit me? I asked him if it was his dad who tried to stop him or any other reason, or is it something I did? I tried to reach out to him multiple times, but he never answered or tried to be there. I gave him space because I thought he was coping with the divorce too. He yelled at me that I was really annoying. His dad didn't stop him. It was he who didn't want to meet with me because I lived in a small apartment with only 2 bedrooms. He hated living in a space like that, and he ignored me on his 18th birthday because the gift I had for him was pretty cheap and stale compared to what his dad and other people gave him. I agree. My gift was a box of his favorite cookies and an old vintage watch. I was struggling a lot at that time, so I couldn't afford to buy him expensive stuff. But does that mean he should have ignored me like that? I had enough of it. I told him strictly that I will not be giving him money. I have spent years wondering where he is and how he is doing. He is still very disrespectful towards me. Throughout our whole conversation, he didn't even ask how I was. He just went straight to money. I was here hoping that we could move on. He had no idea how much of a mess I was when I learned that the man I loved so much would betray me, and then my own son would lie to me for him. I thought we had a special bond. My head has been going through a lot of conclusions. Maybe his dad was lying to him about me. Maybe he was mad about something I did. But now I have the full picture. I do not want to be his ATM. I wanted to be his mother, even when he rejected me. I'm tired of feeling rejected and getting mistreated and taken for granted. He kept saying and getting even more defensive that I cannot do this to him. I am ruining his life, and I told him no. I cannot trust him to give so much money. He told me to cut the bullshit because he knew I have money now and I can easily give him some. I told him no again and again, and he at one point stood up and blamed me and screaming that I'm ruining his life and that I owe it to him. Oh, what? Narcissism. I called my husband and he rushed towards me to keep my son away from me. Oh my gosh. What a piece of garbage. I know now I should have trusted my instincts. I cried a lot when I came home. I lost him forever. I know a lot of you will call me a bad mother. Not I. You will call me a narcissist. Quite the contrary. But I am sorry. I have spent a lot of my time in therapy to get over the pain of losing my husband and son. I cannot have him in my life only to be used as an ATM. Even if I gave him the money, there's no guarantee that after getting the money, he will not just ghost me or push me away. And then when the money runs out, he will come to me again and ask for more. I cannot go through this similar pain. I may be able to forgive him for what he said to me, but I don't think I'll ever forget what he said. He hated me because I had no money. I would have been fine with weekly visits from him, but he never even wanted that. Additionally, I discovered during our conversation that he was the first one to find out that my husband was having an affair, and he asked his dad to buy him a new phone in exchange for not telling me. I lost it. That's all I have as an update. I'm sorry if there were any mistakes. It's hard to write informed sentences and put this all in such few words. OP was responding to like a common comment. No, his birthday wasn't the only time I reached out. Like many of you assumed, I tried to reach out to him before that many times. He said he didn't want to or had other excuses, and I respected his decision and didn't bother him much. I finally gave up trying when he was 18, but I still checked his social media for quite a while until I gave up on that too. Edit, thank you so much for all the support. I am by no means a perfect mom, but I tried my best. Also, as hurt I am by his actions, that day I still hope he learns some adult responsibilities and becomes a more mature person. With that being said, I hardly think I have the energy to consider reconciliation in the future, even if he comes and says sorry. I knew she was probably too far gone at that point. It was already too much for me to be there yesterday just to be humiliated again. I already see people in the comments. Please take care of yourselves and please don't be boxing in the comments, okay? Because at the end of the day, if this is actually real, we cannot tell the OP how she chose to feel when it was happening to her. Yes, she hopes for better in the future, but if she's done, she's done. You can only accept so much pain before you say no. All right, let's read some of these comments. I am a lawyer. Even if he has been accepted into law school, I don't want this person in my profession. Given his sense of entitlement, I see him likely to exploit the vulnerable and rip off his clients. Oh my God. He's probably one of those good old boys, I bet you. I hope that someday he has somebody treat him this way and that he realizes what a little asshole he was to his mother. Karma's a bitch and I can't wait for her to blow his life up. It seems like she low-key already is. I do not fucks with Karma, like at all, bro. I am so sorry for the pain you must be feeling. You made the best decision. Absolutely, you made the best decision for you. And sometimes it's not popular and sometimes it hurts people's feelings. The bond between a parent and child should be about love and respect and not about how much you have in the bank. I hope your family and therapy help you overcome yet another pain caused by your son. He threw you away in trade for social status. That's on him, and I would just keep your head up and focus on your family that loves you and treats you well. Oh my glob OP, I'm so sorry. If anyone thinks you're a bad mother, they're out of their minds. Clearly your ex made his mark on your son, and I'm glad you won't be tortured by the what ifs, but I'm so sorry it ended this way. Hug your family tight. They'll be with you through this, and I'm sending you hugs. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my birthday evening. I'm sending fist bumps to all my people who don't like huggies, and huggies for everybody else. Love you.